Hi everyone, welcome back to Through Alchemy. So today's reading is going to be all about what changes are you inheriting, what blessings are you getting from the universe. So we have three piles from the left to right. The first pile is Prehnite Palmstone. The second pile is Selenite. And the third pile is Yellow Agate. Pause if you need a little bit longer, pick the one which calls your name the most, and I'm going to begin with pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Prehnite Palmstone, this is going to be a reading. So the first card that we have is Mother Mary. Mother Mary and the unicorns are blessing you. Number 36 reduces to 9. I'm hearing a lot of healing. A lot of healing. I'm picking up on heavy Scorpio energy, Pisces, Cancer. Could be a sign, doesn't have to be, but that's just the energy that I'm picking up. It's a lot of emotional healings. The changes that you're inheriting are related to your emotional body, which ultimately result in raising your vibration and becoming the person that you want to be, or a step forward or closer to that. I feel like this is about purity, self-compassion, self-love, self-help. I'm also hearing therapy. Somebody has been wanting to take therapy or has been taking therapy. There's definite indication about that. I'm seeing the Gemini when I cut the deck. We have Scorpio underneath. Thank you, Spirit. We have Mercury as well. And you guys, spirits, please help me connect with pile number 1's energy. What changes are they inheriting as of now? I'm going to take this in reverse. We have house 2. So this is about self-worth. This is about understanding your self-worth better. I'm going to take this upright and reverse both. So we have water. Considering I cannot place the energy of this upright or reverse, I feel like this is unblocking for you. We have water. So thank you, Spirit. I did confirm. They're confirming water signs in the beginning that I spoke about, but I feel like this is again about, spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion. This is like about what I spoke in the beginning. Having more love for yourself is what I'm hearing. It's a very self-conscious energy that I pick up over here. Cancer, again, there's so much water. And then Aries. So this is about moving forward and defending yourself. Wherever you have been lacking independence, whether it's the financial aspect or just emotionally, I feel like you could have been someone who used to ask a lot of opinions for a lot of advices in like what to do, because like you had no connectivity or relatively none to your own intuition, and this is what used to hinder your ability to trust yourself and listen to yourself in places where again we have intuition, emotion, compassion, spirituality. It's like there was a spiritual deprivation which is being reimbursed is what I'm hearing. Like things are coming in alignment because you are understanding that instead of asking other people what suits you or what might suit you the best or what would suit you the best, it's like all variables where it's like, what should I do? It's gonna come to you yourself because you're gonna understand your emotions. I feel like the biggest blockage that you used to face or were taught, learned behavior, childhood behavior, is almost giving me that you used to think that your emotions are a lie, or they're just not good enough, or they're just not factual enough. And I know that can be a very contradictory term because emotions are kind of like ongoing, they're passing. Sometimes you feel something and the next moment you can feel something else, but that doesn't mean that that moment that you experienced was not your reality. Emotions can definitely cloud your judgment and all that. logical explanation about how emotions endanger your security is what I'm also hearing. So maybe these are all components where you used to think that, you know, emotions are not good and they almost are like shooting yourself in the foot. But I think now that you are validating yourself because you are listening to your own emotions, you're allowing your emotions to come alive and let them make themselves known. It's like validating your emotions. You know, one of the things that we learn through therapy is that how to validate our emotions, not to make ourselves feel like this is wrong and we're only allowed to feel certain emotion to certain extent according to the degree of the event or the gravity of the situation. But I feel like this is more about you understanding that just because you feel certain things deeply, that doesn't mean that you're stupid, is what I'm feeling over here. It's like there was some sort of biased energy towards emotions and feeling emotions. Like I'm hearing somebody paraphrasing, like you have heard this somewhere, whether it was a podcast or a YouTube video or it was just a some mentorship video or something like that. I'm just feeling that you've heard this before and this is like coming to remind you again, or you have been thinking about it. It's just something that spirit wants to recall for you, that your emotions don't make you stupid. Your emotions actually guide you. It's just in the moment how you heal through those emotions, how you feel it and you heal through it is what I'm hearing. I'm gonna change the deck. So let's see what else you are inherited. Angel guide spirits, please help me connect with pile number 1. There's a very soothing energy. You know, I see somebody sitting at the lakeside. There's mountains around. You're also tapping into your psychic gifts. A lot of clairvoyance. You could be clairaudient as well, because I feel like you can hear certain things. I'm getting the significance of a beetle. I'm not sure what's the spiritual significance of beetle, but I'm going to insert that in the description box. I'm taking this in reverse. We have the Hanged Man in reverse, Piscean energy. So this is definitely you've had some sort of awakening, or you're going to have an epiphany. For majority of you, feel like you're going to have an epiphany. See however it fits, okay? Take the message however it applies. Don't stick to one thing that a reader tells you. Try to modify it towards your own life or your own message. It's almost what I'm getting. This constructive criticism, like this very boxed up view of life, is also changing for you. I'm gonna take this in reverse. We have the King of Swords in reverse. There's too much. It's like you used to overthink way too much because you didn't trust your emotions. So it's like you used to have this sort of analysis paralysis is what I'm picking up. I'm gonna take this in reverse. We have Guile. This is the Seven of Swords in reverse. Self-sabotage. I get an energy that you're ending this pattern of invalidating your emotions. This is quite huge for you. This is quite huge for you. We have 10 of Pentacles, something that was learned in your family. Tower energy, Scorpionic energy yet again. This is quite big. I'm hearing Shaketh. You might be into poetry. I'm hearing Shakespeare, Romeo, Juliet. So this could have been something that came out of the ending of a relationship or because of a romantic partner. I feel like you were neglecting your emotions with this person. Either you were neglecting them or you're neglecting your own emotions when you were with this person. Something about the situation, whatever it was, it doesn't even have to be romantic. It's just that something has really woken you up to the fact that your emotions matter, or it's important for you to listen to them, because you're really, really going to harm yourself if you don't allow yourself to feel happy. And the root cause for all of this was simply not feeling like you're worth it. You're not worth happiness. You're not worth being loved, cherished, and appreciated. Now, I feel like you might have had a dysfunctional pattern with what being cherished or appreciated feels like or should be like. Somebody over here could have had a craze of being famous or something like that, is what I'm feeling. It's not a craze, but I'm seeing that it was not for the right reasons, is also what I'm hearing. So take however that fits. But I feel like over here, you forgot the meaning of really what means to be appreciated, and maybe this person was somebody who was making you feel appreciated. It could be vice versa, but I feel like now you know the exact meaning of what it feels like to be appreciated, and you're slowly understanding what you really want out of life, and that is emotional compatibility. at the very least. And this is something that you're realizing, and it's making you understand how much you have undermined your own worth. Again, with Cancerian energy, most of the time when it's in a shadow attribute, it's unbalanced. It's somewhere where you put other people's needs before your own. And it could also be that you probably placed your own needs at the back burner because of expectations or just life circumstances which made you feel like you cannot serve yourself right now. So I feel like through circumstantial evidence or just the atmosphere that was at your home is also what I'm picking up. This is just a dynamic that you developed with yourself, that I need to take care of other people before I can take care of myself. This was probably a part of parentification where you have to grow up before your own time. You have to, become mature enough because the adults are not able to take the responsibility or do their own roles. So I feel like this was the situation which taught you how to put your needs at the back burner because you weren't given that space to be a child. So what you're actually inheriting right now, what changes you're inculcating in your life, and especially I feel like your nervous system, is a little bit more of relaxation. Is more like, okay, you know what, I don't have to hustle so hard. Maybe I can just put the ambitions back at the back right now, then maybe for a little while later. Like, there's so much hesitation suddenly when I'm trying to say that maybe we can put these ambitions back. Maybe we can just lower them down a little bit. But it's like you're having a little bit of unrealistic expectations, or you had that, and you're realizing that you can only do so much as of now. It's not that you can't achieve these goals, but it's more in a sense where it's like your body can take only so much. It's not the end of the world. Pile number one, it's not gonna pull you down in life if you just, I think that you have a fear of failure or something like that. Like, if you take some time to rest right now, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out your prime time. If you start working right now, maybe by the time that you get to a certain age, you'll have this and that. But I feel like you're not realizing that your body needs you right now. And one of the things that you're also going to be inheriting is a side message, is this love for yourself. I honestly feel like what's also coming in the future is sort of like a spiritual imprisonment. I'm getting the death card against Scorpionic energy, a lot of Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy is like intense, right? It's transformative. It's about a lot of purging, renewal, and I almost feel like it's about forgiveness from your past and things that have taken place in your past that have hurt you. So I am going to pull out a few conclusive cards for you. Fire number one. What are you inheriting? I'm hearing advancement, adjustments. Again, Cancerian energy. I'm going to take this card upright. Release. Thank you, spirits. I'm going to put it here. You're releasing this overthinking pattern when it comes to what you really should go out there and achieve. I'm going to take this in reverse. We have water yet again. So much water. It's all related to your emotions. It's all related to how you think you should treat yourself at the very least. I feel like this is about crying also. Pent up emotions. We have structure, attachment. I'm going to take attachment in reverse. Spirit is telling me that you're releasing your attachment to your parents' expectations and approvals. It's almost like you used to take up a lot and have unrealistic expectations of yourself, because you thought that if you achieve this and that, you'll finally be able to receive the love that you did not receive from them, or the praise that you wanted exactly from them, right? So it's like you thought that you probably wanted to be famous. I'm just giving you a food for thought, okay? Nothing has to change. You can just think about it. It's like you just want to be loved. You look at celebrities and you think about that, like, oh my god, they're so cherished, they're so loved and everything. But I feel like it comes with a lot of sacrifices as well. You don't have that privacy anymore, and I don't think you're completely that extroverted. I could be wrong. Again, take whatever fits. I'm gonna take this card in reverse, the world in reverse. So some sort of cycle that has been wanting to end. It's like at the last tangent of it, last summarization is also what I'm picking up over here. I'm gonna take this card up, right? Chariot. Thank you, Spirit. Again, Cancerian energy. I'm gonna take this in reverse. We have Magician, Gemini, Virgo, Justice, Libra, and the Knight of Cups. So this is definitely about love at the end of the day. It just doesn't have to be romantic love, but just receiving love from wherever you can. It's like you used to close yourself off too much, and you're realizing that love is not just about taking, but also like giving and receiving. But I feel like a part of you used to give too much in the past. Somewhere you have given. It's like there's two facets to you where um maybe in a previous relationship you became anxious, and then after that you became avoidant. There's like two tangents to it, but I see this as somewhere where you're realizing that it can't be like I can always be a giver. It can't be that I can always be a taker. It's like I have to have a balance. And these emotions were blocked because of a sacral chakra. It's all about your own belief about yourself, which is being released as of now with the Cancerian energy, understanding that you also deserve that nurturance, that comfort and protection. Right, pile number one. So I'm going to leave it here. I really, really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. And I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye. Hello, pile number two. If you chose the Selenite, this is going to be your reading. So the first card that we have is Archangel Uriel. Become a peace ambassador. Number 38 reduces to 11 to I'm getting certain insecurities that have been coming up. You'll be releasing them. That's what you're inheriting is more self-acceptance, compassion, love, kindness, compassion. I keep hearing compassion for yourself. You could have been quite critical towards yourself. I think that certain people could have bullied you because of certain aspects, certain habits that you had, certain self-destructive habits that used to show up, like tapping your foot or nail biting. I'm also hearing plucking eyebrows or eating the skin of your gums or something like that. These are like really tedious signs of anxiety that could have existed or still could be prevalent. It is not to judge you, but this is a good sign to let you know that you have been working on yourself and you're releasing these addictive patterns. That could also be smoking, drinking, addiction to sugar, food, and for somebody, excessive working out as well. Inability to sit with yourself. See all these examples or traits, rather, I would say, lack for a better word, are um, different tangents of anxiety, right? The way our body shows us that it's not at peace with itself. Again, that's why we have be at peace, be a peace ambassador. Thank you, Spirit. So, Angel Guide Spirits, please help me connect with pile number two's energy. What changes are they inheriting? I'm gonna take this in reverse. Mars in reverse. You could have been depressed, behind functional depression, somewhere where you did not even recognize that. For a few of you, you're still depressed. You should consider talking to a therapist if that's possible, or journaling could be really helpful right now. I have to let you know that. But apart from that, if you cannot afford therapy, you should definitely inculcate praying or meditation. There was a massive blockage, like my head and my heart. It's not even my head and heart. It's like my head and my body just wouldn't collaborate together. There was a lot of dysfunctional relationship with each other. And I feel like somebody over here could also experience that, where it's in a place where it's like you just don't understand exactly what your body is saying, or you just don't have that cooperation with it, right? So I'm just seeing that there's a lot of purging happening. It's like for the best. We have house 8 again, transformation, karma, facing fears and legacies. I feel like an emphasis on the word legacies because this is like generational is what I'm seeing over here. I'm getting the earth sign underneath the deck. I'm gonna take this in reverse. This says persistence, patience, and practicality. I feel like this was all about, I blurted out the word head and heart. This is what it gives me. It's like being so succumbed by what your head says, the way you've been brought up. A lot of air signs over here. I'm also hearing Gemini, Libra, Virgo, Taurus, but for some reason it gives you what you were taught is what to value and what to not value. This is in correlation with pile number one. You can watch that, or you just came from that, but you should definitely watch pile number one, is what I'm hearing. I feel like over here there's an energy of massive changes, because see, like, it's not to make you feel like you have bad traits. Okay, every human does, but it's just in a way where it's like now you're overcoming those self-destructive coping mechanisms, right? For somebody over here, there's also fight or flight mode where you used to run away from confrontation. I'm seeing the image of somebody getting corrected about some of their behavior, and they just run off crying. It's almost like you used to be very weak to criticism, and this could also be where it's like your parents used to criticize you way too much when you made a mistake. So now when somebody does that, it probably makes you feel like a bad guy, the bad or a bad person, or it just completely takes you to a tangent where you start feeling unworthy about your self accomplishment. That's what I've been trying to say. Obstacle, it's like this has been one of the most embarrassing things for you. These coping mechanisms have been quite embarrassing for you. These are things that you do in, absence of people. You don't want to be caught or seen. Like, this is something that's like your own secret or something. Like, it's like a pet peeve. You don't want people to see that because you don't want to be judged for your coping mechanisms, right? We have patience. So it's almost like before you lack patience with yourself. I see like nail biting was quite prominent over here, or like what's that thing where you sort of like string the skin around your nails or something like that. It's like um you've tried ways to overcome it, and I feel like previously there was just lack of patience, like you just couldn't make it through. I'm gonna take out this thought up, right? We have reflection. So it's almost like now you're able to see why you do the things you do. I'm gonna take this in reverse. We have disguise. So these things are making itself known, like why do you do the things you do to cope up with them, right? And why is it becoming so visible for you that these things are not good for you, is because you recently went through something which made you quite ungrounded, or just made it very known. Like, I feel like with the house 8, something left your life, or some sort of clarity came to your life, where it was completely divinely orchestrated and protected. Because I was about to say orchestrated and protection came to my head, which is like your guides are just letting you know that this was all planned out. Okay, we have responsibility. I want to take this in reverse. Influence, and then again eruption. So something really made itself known with eruption, I feel, over here. And because of it's like this thing happening itself, making itself known, I feel like this was somewhere where you realize, like, oh my god, I'm really hurting myself. So this was about self-destructive measures, or just something probably happened where you took it a little too far, and you had to learn, like, this is what I'm doing because, like, I just don't feel worthy within myself, or I just don't feel that good enough. And I think that this could also have been a phase where you were depressed, or you currently are. Okay, for a few of you, you are actually depressed as of now, and it's something that most people don't even realize, because it's not that mental health is getting worse right now. It's just that mental health and the quality of mental health over the time for humans is now actually making itself known, because of the social media connectivity, and all sorts of awareness that is coming through on social media apps and all those things. So it's like now you can actually see how many people have actually been depressed. And I'm facing a little bit of difficulty in speaking this, so it's almost like it gives me that it's difficult for you to speak these things out, but it's like you really need it right now. And for a few of you, I feel like journaling would really help. It's like, but sometimes you just don't want to confront it to yourself, or you haven't been able to confront it with your own self. It's like I see a lot of Saturn energy over here. So it's almost like you were meant to go through this, okay? And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's what I keep hearing. Like everything is quite subjective for you, like according to your situations, but I'm also hearing objectification. Like some of you could have been objectified as just for sexual attraction or something like that, which could have hurt you. It could have been the key point which brought you in this place, or you were just not seen as something that's more worthy, or somebody really hurt you, is what I'm seeing. Something that really happened triggered you into this position. I'm hearing it triggered you back into this position, because I'm also hearing disposition. So it's almost giving me like something really like a back and forth thing that could have been a relationship or friendship. It's just a relationship. Like it's not romantic. It could be platonic, but it's a relationship. It's a relation with another person is what I'm seeing, and it's like there's so much emphasis on getting to know that it's about probably a relationship that you share with yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's like other people are just showing you like how do you treat yourself. Because it's I want to clarify one thing. Like it's not about who you desire to be and who you aim to be and what do you really want to be 10 years down the lane. It's about who you are right now is what you will attract, what your reality is. So that gap and that distance between what you are right now and what you want to be is something that you're fulfilling right now. Pile number 2, and this can be quite difficult because we have meander again. This is the energy upheaval again. There's something definitely that you're going through. It's like a massive purging phase, or it's just something that, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna last a while, because it needs for you to go underground. It can feel tedious, it's not easy is what I'm trying to say, but it's like it's important because you have to evaluate what things are you giving importance to. Pile number 2. So I'm gonna take out a few more astrological cards. We have the moon again. There is so much subconscious energy coming through. So what you're inheriting is the ability to actually understand yourself, more self-awareness, which is something that I feel like you just don't appreciate these things right now. And I completely understand, don't force yourself to understand or appreciate these things when it's just not coming to you. But I feel like you should understand that, at least give it the benefit of the doubt, that this is a very important part to fulfill the place where you want to go from who you are right now. Because ultimately you will attract what you are, not what you want to be or what you aspire to be. Right now, whatever you have attracted is because of who you are. It's all about I am. It's not about I want to be. So I have Mercury in reverse. This is Gemini and Virgo. I was about to flip it upside, but then it's like Spirit stopped me. This is also about like communication with yourself, like the way you think. Again, it's a little bit correlated to pile number 1, where it's like over analyzing things with the North Node over here, destined to have, and Libra again. See, this is the energy of somebody who is trying to be fair and is considerate of other factors in life apart from their own well-being. And I see that over here, North Node is about house 9, again, spiritual growth, Aries. So Chiron. So see, Chiron is something like a no-brainer, which tells me that you were meant to go through this. That's why I picked up on Saturn energy. Thank you, Spirit. So this is very prominent over here in your pile. Pile number 2, that you're meant to go through this phase of, with the house 9, spiritual growth and eruption. Something was meant to hurt you, poke you, like the way it did, it really hurt you. Somebody could have really hurt you and not have taken their responsibility, or held up their end of the bargain. It's almost like somebody just was not fair with you, and it taught you how to be fair with yourself. So this is precisely what I see over here. I'm going to get a few conclusive cards for your reading. What changes are you inheriting? It's almost like an awakening. I'm gonna take this card in the reverse. We have path. You have been rerouted. That was not the place you were meant to go. This is what you've inherited. You should be, again, I know it sounds like you should be thankful, but then again, you can only inculcate gratitude when you want to, right? Try giving it a thought. This path was blocked because it was not meant for you. We have gifts and source. You are channeling into your psychic gifts. I feel like you're quite clairsentient. You can feel a lot of things, but if you can't feel your own body, how can you tap into these gifts, right? So this is also something that you're inheriting as a change, is because of the it's like a blessing in disguise. If you hadn't had been through this, something that would have made you known of your bodily emotions and sensory emotions, like how to validate your emotions, how can you actually tap into your strongest gift, which is clairsentient, which is felt through mostly through bodies, like goosebumps and all those kinds of things. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like just your body knows how to make itself known when something is right or wrong. I'm going to take this in reverse. Your Saturn. Thank you, Spirit. So finally, this confirms what I've been thinking. We have house 11 and house 3. It's about childhood communication and a lot about communication. And we have Virgo again. Thank you, Spirit. So this is a lot about releasing your karma. We had a house 8 over here, which is with spiritual growth. It's about your smokes and illusions. And with the Martian energy, we did have this energy of Aries over here, which really tells me that where you were struggling or where you were undermining your own strength is something that's going to make itself known. But it's like I'm hearing something's got to give. It's like you had to hurt with the Chiron to understand your own power and take responsibility for your own life, rather than it's almost like I'm hearing that when you give away your power, it's almost like I'm hearing that you give away your power when you expect somebody to act a certain way so that you can feel good. It's like they already have that power over you. According to the way they behave is how you're gonna feel, right? So pile number 2, this was your reading. I'm gonna leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button. Subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. And I'm gonna see you guys in another one. Bye.
Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the yellow agate, this is going to be your reading. So the first card that we have is of service. 28 reduces to 10-1. Service with an open heart is the key to satisfaction. One of the first things that I notice is physical health improvements. Somebody over here could have had low platelet count. White blood cells is also what I'm hearing. Immunity could have been quite low. I'm getting certain visuals like of mucus, so somebody could have on and off had a lot of cold. It's also I'm getting a sign of evil eye, like sometimes you could have caught a lot of cold, which I don't feel like a congestion but like a little bit of sniffling. For a few of you, you could have also had fever or viral. I'm also seeing the transition into spring, from winters is also something that has been affecting your immunity because of the weather changes. Overall, I also see somebody could have struggled with a lot of hair fall. So these are things which I'm seeing as a part of a poor diet, which could have also been because you could have had an eating disorder, or your relationship with food is also something that is improving. Because I think that you have come into acknowledgement, or sort of like awareness, I would rather say, as to the fact that you don't really take care of your body that well, or something like that. It's very related to, and I don't want to step on a sensitive territory over here, but this is something that is important to address, is what I'm hearing from spirit, that your relationship with food has been relatively quite destructive. It's very dependent on the way you feel about yourself. And a few of you, I think that when somebody treats you poorly or doesn't do the things that you have tied your self-worth to, it really fluctuates your appetite. You're not able to eat properly. This is a learned behavior. It's a generational pattern, which is something that you're breaking right now. You're trying to really take care of it. One tip that I get is, right now when you're acknowledging these things, it is a good time to revive or make that relationship better, rather than criticizing yourself or something like that. If you do that, because I feel like these are all negative thought patterns, right? The way you see yourself and the way you treat yourself. So one thing is definitely that try to be softer with yourself. Don't criticize yourself because you have this relationship with food. Okay, something that you're inheriting is also how to talk to yourself softer, how to be softer to yourself, how to be kinder to yourself. It has been a notion in all 3 piles, but I feel like pile number 3, it's a major focus for you, because a lot of things over here I don't see are related to other people, but just the way you have been brought up and how you have been also emotionally neglected, which are sort of the manifestation or a result to these habits, especially when it comes to your relationship with food and also smoking. Majority of you smoke over here is what I'm picking up, or drink. At least there's some sort of vice, which is really interesting, because a spirit was making me notice the service word with vice, and I was like, what's the relation to vice? And then I was just channeling, and then they, correlated it with vices. So that's pretty interesting. I feel like you're a quick-witted person, excuse me, and I think that sometimes your brain thought or patterns work too quicker than you can express them out. So this is also a good thing, because I'm hearing that you're quite intellectual. Air signs, Aries, Leo, wow, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. It could be also a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's quite quick-witted, right? It's quite fast. It's not very grounded. It's not earthy or watery. I'm seeing the purple color, crown chakra. So something about this really gives me that you are coming out of a phase of dark night of the soul, is what I'm really picking up over here. I think it has been difficult. Yeah, see, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Something has turned around in your life. All signs with the Wheel of Fortune, Three of Wands. You've been waiting for things, or waiting for yourself to come out of this phase. I feel an affirmative energy that you've been waiting to come out of these things. Like, you have been in the cave. You have been thinking of things. I'm going to take this in reverse. We have the Happiness, Six of Cups in reverse. So this could have been a result of separation with a soulmate, or on and off things, something that was related to a soulmate that you are now leaving behind, and your coping mechanisms have made themselves known better than ever. I'm taking this upright. This one in reverse, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Ace of Pentacles upright. This situation gives me a lot of contemplation, justice with the Libra energy. Thank you, Spirit, and Judgment again with the Libra energy. I'm going to take the Judgment in reverse. For some reason, we're going to see how that pairs up later on. I'm going to take the Justice in reverse here as well. We have oppression with the Eight of Swords over here. So certain things you understood about yourself. Pile number 3. We have the Father of Arrows, the King of Swords over here, and we have the Four of Pentacles. The Sun has been popping out so much in your reading, so Leo energy yet again. I feel like you're inheriting more money, or like travel experiences, more opportunities are going to land in your lap, is also what I'm hearing. These are going to be related to work. So in the future, you're probably going to change jobs, or there's some sort of monetary advancement coming in for you, is also what I'm hearing. I am seeing the color green and orange. It could be in your national flag as a confirmation, is what I'm getting, but there's also certain things which are coming to the limelight, is what I'm hearing, such as like how your judgment has been wrong because of your fears about certain people, right? And it's not a bad thing. It's like we live and learn, right? A lot of times we don't know exactly what we want, but things narrow down when we know through experiences what we don't want in our life, right? So these bad decisions, or maybe a soulmate in your past which had a karmic connotation to it, okay, it's not a bad thing, but it's just where this person taught you things where you do not want to put yourself in a place where you're so unhappy. I think that you were thinking that this person is going to give you that sort of stability. This person was impulsive, and they were very slow at the same time. It's like they were impulsive and making bad decisions, acting out of their own insecurities and codependencies. And I think one thing that you both shared was substance abuse over here. Now, it doesn't have to be the same sort of substance, it could be, but for majority of you, I feel like it was the same substance that you both used to bond upon, or just like, I don't know, gel, or like had friendship upon. But it's like you knew that this was wrong. This sort of relation that you had with this person, it doesn't mean that this was not your soulmate, but it's like for the time being, you know, the things that were around, they were not completely like of a light undertone. They had darkness to it. This relationship was not easy. And I think that there's still residual over here. It doesn't mean that you're not moving on. You have moved on from certain patterns and parts of yourself, right? With this service, I feel like this is a lot about helping yourself I do think that it's gonna bind up with some sort of global or some sort of like charity work, but I feel like this is a lot about the way that you used to treat yourself and becoming more stable within yourself. It's like not asking other people to fulfill your cup or add more value to your life when you don't know how to do that just by yourself, right? It's like because of that, you never knew. Pile number 3, I get the sense that there's this naivety, but I don't feel like there's this gullible naivety, but there's this naivety that is backed up by trauma, which did not allow you to see how you can fulfill your life furthermore. So this person was meant to come around and sort of like shake you up again, to realize like how much more can you give to yourself, how you were limiting yourself. So I think that this heartbreak really cracked open your eyes. I'm hearing that, sometimes God breaks your heart to clear your vision. So I feel like this was the energy over here, where it's like you were pushed out of the situation. Is for few of you, you sometimes just don't know what's good for you when it comes to picking romantic partners, choosing the right, like making the choice for right people. And I think that you used to take away whatever was available, but now you're realizing just because it's available, that doesn't mean it's my cup of tea, right? So this is also something that's coming along. This person could have reached out or is going to reach out, is what I want to let you know. September is very significant. It could have been, you know, something that had happened in September or is going to happen in September. I'm going to take this in reverse. We have Chiron. Damn. Just give me like a Cardi B energy, but it's like rags to riches, a story of Cardi B. I feel like your energy is more about like how the way you used to treat yourself, the way you used to treat yourself is something that is going to change, or you're inheriting that a lot at a rapid race. At a rapid pace is also I'm eating up my words way too much. There's a lot of throat chakra expansion, but right now, I think that your heart is opening up so that you can actually speak your own truth, like what really matters to you. We have Aquarius energy. I'm going to take that in reverse. You used to run away from confrontation is also something that is changing with house 3 and house 2. Again, Capricorn energy, Leo. I want to explain these cards. It's almost giving like, with house 3, this is a lot about childhood issues, with where you were attracting people just out of trauma, and it's not that you were attracting equals even if you thought that you were. This is changing now because you're going to realize, or you already have realized, that you have been attracting people to coddle you up, where your father or mother figure could not do, according to whatever preference, your sexual preferences, or however that fits. Okay, whoever was the more absent parent is what I'm picking up over here. I see that over here with the house too. This was something that is being enabled by your understanding of your self-worth. But Capricorn and reverse is what I'm picking up over here. This is about a fantasy land that you created, which was based upon the fact that if I chose a visible bad apple or a bad option or prospectus for me, and I can convince that person to change, that means I have changed my past where my father or mother did not do better. But if this person changes for me, it means that I am redeemed and I am worthy. But this is the sort of childhood fantasy you were trying to recreate. This is something that you're leaving behind. With the Leo, you're understanding that nobody has to change for you to understand your self-worth. Nobody has the power to determine your self-worth but you. And I mean that in the simplest form, where it means that whether people change or do better or not, their behavior is just a reflection of themselves and what they have learned in their own upbringing. It's not a reflection of you. All right, pile number 3. So these are quite strong energies, is what I'm picking up over here. It's a lot about realizations. The changes that you're inheriting is firstly because of self-awareness. So I feel like if you're watching this reading and it resonates up to a par, think about the concepts that I just spoke about. It would really help you understand certain things. I'm going to take this in reverse. We have patience in reverse. You might want to watch pile number 1. I see that, with the Knight of Pentacles both in reverse, Knight of Pentacles in reverse can be an impulsive energy, and then we have patience again in reverse. I am going to clarify this. I want to see what this is exactly about. Chiron is like impatience with yourself. You had impatience with dealing with yourself and your own karma. Karma basically means like See, thank you, Spirit. Profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships, conjunction. It's about where you were just not willing to release yourself from your past. It's like you were addicted, and what you're inheriting right now is the strength to actually go forward and really change the way you see yourself. It's not about what you think you are and what you want to be, it's about who you are in this moment, and you're trying to change who you are in this moment right now. It's not about who you aspire to be, it's not about what's on your manifestation board, it's not about what you write and what you think. It's about truly who you are inside. This is the vibration at which the universe operates, right? It's not about the delusions that you convince yourself with and for. It's about who you really, really are inside. And this is something that you did not want to change. And perhaps a part of you did not want to accept that you were also treating yourself the way this person was treating you, because let's be real, you would not entertain this person longer than 5 minutes if you actually knew what you really deserve, right? So we're gonna get a few conclusive messages for you, pile number 3. What are you inheriting? What changes are you inheriting? So let's press please help me connect with pile number 3's energy. Oh, I'm gonna take this in reverse. We have healing. You're gonna be healing, but it's like you're understanding the need to heal, not just your relationship with your parents and yourself, but more emphasis on relationship with yourself, like your eating habits, your coping mechanisms, your anxiety, and what all it needs, right? What it truly needs from you. Patience, again, it needs patience. Separation, so this separation that you had between your body, heart, and mind is what I'm picking up. Number 333 is could have been significant. You could have been seeing that a lot. I'm seeing this in reverse. I'm taking this in reverse, excuse me. We have influence. Bottom of the deck, responsibility and path. Wow. I'm gonna take this in reverse, and we have path. Earthy energy has been very prevalent over here. We have transient, fire again, water. I feel like there's this energy where it's like now you're gonna start listening to what you're actually seeing and feeling within your body, rather than trying to be a Mr. Know-it-all or running away from it. I don't think that you try to purposely hurt yourself. Of course, nobody does. But it's like the self-sabotaging patterns are no longer foreign to you. Like you can see them. And now a part of you which was not taking responsibility for the way it used to treat itself is changing. It's like you can't ignore it anymore. You can't just be like, you know what, this is not bad for me. It'll probably go away. I'll deal with it later. It's like that saturation point has come where it's like you have to deal with it now. It's like a judgment call, is what I see over here. Alright, pile number 3, this was your reading. I'm going to leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button. Subscribe for more with the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. And I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye.